All right, everybody. Welcome to our first Eagle Talk of the semester. My name is Mariceli Santiago, and I am the Director of Student Life and Activities. And today I am so glad to have with me Dr. Mahone Lewis. She is the director of, I'm going to have her tell you what it is because it's long. I just call it SEEPSARC, but that's just me. And we're going to talk today a little bit about suicide awareness and what that means for everyone, but specifically for students and people within our community, and how we can get some help and some of the things that we can think about to kind of help either ourselves, our family, our friends, and people in general in our community. So, welcome, Dr. Mahone Lewis.
Thank you. I'm so happy that to be invited to speak. Our title is the Substance Abuse Resource Center. That's the SARC, and SEEP is the Students and uh, Employee Assistance Program. So that's our long acronym, and we're here to help both the students and staff, and but some of our programs are reaching out to the members of the community as well. I want to announce that on September the 13th from 9 to 1 p.m., we're going to be located at the Anderson Campus Center, and we're looking at suicide prevention. In fact, September is Suicide Prevention Month, and so there are going to be two programs. The second program is September the 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and the uh, SCAP/SARC is going to be with the Net Impact students, and we'll be there to work with anyone who comes to their program, which is on the 21st of September, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And anyone who wants to talk to someone who can help them with their issues, we will be there to do that. So, uh, when I talk about suicide in America is a major health problem. Major. There are around 30,000 people who die each year. And uh, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is trying to, within the next year, reduce suicide. Well, actually, in by 2025, they're trying to reduce suicides by 20%. But that's really a tall order. And but we certainly hope that they are able to accomplish this. Or we, because it's not just a situation that is involved by certain groups, but all of us are important to helping prevent or to lessen the number of suicides that we have each year.
Yeah, it's something that particularly we're here near Fort Cavazos, so we have a lot of individuals that are either part of the military community or have been service members themselves who have come back from war with a lot of trauma and things that they're trying to deal with. And I know that
Right.
that's actually a really big um, demographic in terms of people that actually either consider or actually commit suicide. And um, and that's just one portion of the people that we serve. That is a smaller portion each day.
Yes.
But even so, we still work with them to make sure that we are supporting them and dealing with it, and being able to help them be able to grow as an individual and be able to face whatever else is maybe coming their way in their life, which is not always an easy thing, regardless of what you have gone through in life. Um, as
Yes.
time goes by, I keep noticing that, and as somebody who deals with students, sometimes even just a change of pace of being, beginning something new, as being a student, that's
Hmm.
a college student because many have been a high school student, but the mentality is very different and the expectations are as well. And maybe you can
Hmm.
talk a little bit about how that can affect a person's mental health.
Well, I would say, well, first of all, I'd like to say that something that many people are not aware of, and that is that it's preventable and that the risk factors are things that we can look at and we can help ourselves. But also, I'd like for you to know that more persons die from suicide than from homicide. And we hear
Wow.
about these tragic incidents every day on the news. And some of our suicides we don't really hear about because there are more suicides than there are homicides. And that's hard to believe. Uh, when we think about young people who are at risk, and sometimes we think, oh, this is just a kid, or this is a person that has many years to live for. But when you are feeling depression, or if you're having issues of what we've become trendy right now, which is not a positive trend, but we're talking about various mental health disorders or substance abuse disorders, then we this affects us, the person, greatly. And a student someone who's leaving high school and coming to college for the first time, they're having to look at the stresses and strains of, wow, this is something new. Can I actually succeed? How well will I do? Who are the friends that I'll make? Will people like me or not? And what do I do if they don't? And these are have a I've had a maybe I've tried to attempt suicide, or the person has tried to, when they're a teen, because sometimes the teenage years are really rather rough for us, for all of us. It's not, I haven't met very many people who were a teen who were wanting to be the teen. Now when you are younger, and boy, it sounds good to be a teenager because you think you have all these extra um, freedoms. And sometimes you do, but you also have more responsibilities, and we have more things that entice us, such as substances that uh, cause us to travel a path can cause us to not be as happy as we think we should be. Now, a prior suicide attempt, or a family history of mental health or substance abuse, these are all factors or risk factors for suicide.
Mhm.
And and we don't always talk about what's happening to us. If we have a family member, we might want to try to keep it secret. If we're feeling depressed, we kind of hold that in and think it'll just go away, when actually sometimes slowly that depression becomes even more overpowering for us. And every additional activity that we have can contribute to some of these problems. We should look at what are some of the things that we want to look at. I think we want to look at if there's a family history of violence or continuing violence, of physical or sexual abuse. Doesn't have to be one or the other, but it could be but it can be one or the other, or it could be both. Uh, Having guns or firearms in the home can also contribute to the risk factor for suicide. And being exposed to others who have suicidal behavior can also cause us to have issues more strongly than if we're off to ourselves. Our peers, if our peers are doing this, or even media figures, sometimes we are so consumed by our stars, our and those stars are actors, are uh, music
Like musicians,
musicians, and
star athletes, right?
athletes. That's correct. So all these things influence us. It's not, we do not live in a vacuum, and we have to be very careful about how things are presented to us and how we present ourselves. And well, I'm a man, someone may say, or uh, uh, I'm a good student. And if I'm a good student, I don't have to worry about that. Or if I'm smart, I don't have to worry about these issues. But um, when we look at the gender, men are more likely to die by suicide than women. Women are more likely to attempt suicide. Years ago, they used to say, "Oh, women are histrionic and they're just pretending. They're not really depressed. They're not really gonna commit suicide." Well, that's not necessarily true. Uh, they may attempt it more often, but the fact that they're attempting suicide opens the door to that possibility becoming a reality. And it's very important that we don't rule out anybody by their gender. Children are also, and young people are at risk for suicide as well. And in fact, they are part of the top three uh, age groups that attempt suicide from ages 15 to 24. uh, there is such a, and that's when we get most of our uh, young college students who are leaving home. Students, what is it called? Uh, Early college, high school, and just regular leaving home for the first time after high school.
So, can we talk a little bit about that? Because as somebody who deals with students, that's what I see the most. It's that transition from being somebody that maybe your parents are really handling more, where you have what you feel is a certain level of support potentially, and then you come into an environment where you find yourself alone, or the impression that you're alone, even if it's not
Hmm.
true, because sometimes it's not. um, or that you're having difficulty in school, maybe before you were an A student or really did really well, and now you're finding that you're not able to keep up, and that was your thing. You were the smart kid, right? And now you don't feel like you even have that. Isn't that some of the things that can kind of get people on a spiral? Yeah, I found that that's kind of where it kind of starts. I don't know that that's the official start, but at least it's a catalyst, if nothing else.
Yes, I think that uh, you're definitely correct. There are so many responsibilities that, I mean, we couldn't even spell responsibility sometimes when we were a teenager or early adult because we had others, our parents or some family member who maybe stepped in and took care of whatever the situation was. However, the older we get, the more responsibilities that may be placed in front of us, and we don't always know how to deal with these new and heavy responsibilities. And we don't want to talk about it because shouldn't I already know? And if I and shouldn't I do a good job at taking care of whatever that situation is? And what will you think of me if I ask you a question that I should already know because I'm 14, 15, 16, 17, 20,
30,
30?
40, 50.
Yeah, that's right. It follows all the age range actually. And what we need to do is to talk about what's going on with us. If we talk about the situation, if we get a mentor, it would be nice to have a mentor, and you can have a mentor that's the same age as you are, and we could, from whatever category we're looking at, we can get someone who can just say one thing sometime, and that's all we need to get back up and running in the way that we want to, in the path that we want. One of the places that you can contact that is, if you want to keep everything confidential, you don't want anyone to know what's going on with you. Well, there's suicide, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Get that, Lifeline, because we want you to stay here. We can't contact, well, now some people say that you can reach out and talk to the people that's beyond, but we want you to stay here because the most of us, and myself included, can only reach out to you when you're in front of me or virtually, but you need to be alive, and we want you to be alive. So if you contact 1 800 273 TALK, because we want you to talk, and that talk is 8255, and it's a 24-hour line. So you don't have to, sometimes we become lower, we feel more sad, or it seems to just kind of happen to us more so in the evenings or at night. And we're available at 1 800 273 8255. It's important that you keep that number near you. And there are others. You can always call 911. Never forget that. Here on campus, you can call our number here at Sub Students and Employee Hotline, our slash SA Substance Abuse Resource Center. It is a tongue twister, but and our number here is 526 1166. That's my number. And the other numbers are uh, 3 501 3096. And our third number here is 501 3097. We also have the campus police, and that is 254 526 1200. And we're here wanting to work with you and to help you in any way that we can.
Yeah, and so these are some really great resources and things that everybody should be aware of. You can reach out. Um, as somebody who oversees clubs and organizations at Central Texas College, it is very important. This is one of the reasons that I feel it's so important that students participate in this kind of event and this kind of stuff because um by being with somebody or having somebody that you can talk to, you can actually have that opportunity of meeting, by being part of a club organization, you have that community effect of, you know what, I'm stuck. There might be another student that's stuck too, or there might be somebody else, like the sponsor or somebody else within there that can say, you know what, you look like you need some help, or are you okay? Can we
Yes.
help you? And that's where community comes in. It's extremely helpful for you to feel like you're part of somebody or part of a group, and that people can help you. And I know that I've seen it in action. I've had students come up to me and tell me, I am in crisis. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. This happened to me. I need help. And they felt comfortable enough coming to me so that I could at least guide them to a safe environment. But, or, let's come up with a plan of action. Let's figure out some positive things that you can do, and they felt comfortable enough doing that. But you need to be able to reach out to people. If you are in crisis, please
Yes.
reach out to people that care about you, that can guide you through these processes, that can make sure that you're going to be safe, not just now, but also in the future. And that's part of the reason that we do events like this one right now, where you can talk to us, let us know kind of, of course, you don't necessarily want to tell us right now what's going on with you, but you are welcome to reach out. That's why we have a counseling center here on campus, which is what Dr. Mahone Lewis oversees. Come out, reach out, let us know what's going on. And if not just you, be aware of it, because somebody may reach out to you. It might not always be you. It could be that somebody reaches out to you and they need some help. And that's what we want you to do, is come to us. Let us know what's going on. And then let us guide you through the process. If you know
One,
that, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I wanted to say as you were speaking, uh, that there is no cost
Hmm.
involved with the services that we provide here on campus. We are truly wanting to be of assistance to you. So you don't have to worry about counting your pennies or going to find the pennies to count. Know that there is not a charge, and the charge is not when you come in and you don't get an unexpected bill 30 days later. Okay. We want you, we want to help you, and we realize that suicide is something that affects us all. And that includes our students who are older than average. We have students on campus who are not the 18 or to 24 age range. We have many other students as well, and we all are subject to the possibility of depression and a desire to get a quick answer or solution to the problem that we're having. And rarely is there a quick solution. Rarely. But you're not by yourself. And as Sally was saying to you, that reach out to someone. We do want to help you. And we are sincere about this. This is not, uh, we're not here because of the 15 cents that we're making. We're here because we want to do the best that we can to help you, to make your stay here at the community college a welcomed educational one, one where you are gaining and we're gaining as well because it helps us to help you.
It really does.
I feel good when I help somebody. I really do. And there are so many people and so many things that causes stress. And we have many bullies out there, and they're hurting too. But we're saying to you, don't think you're by yourself. We're here to help you. So come on
I
in.
I almost want to tell our students when they start college that they should do two things almost immediately. One is go up to the tutoring center and just sign up and kind of meet the tutors up there so that you can get like your academics kind of squared away in the sense that the tutors can help you figure out like your classes, make sure you're on track with what you're doing. If you need help with something academically, they can help you. And then the other thing I always feel like they should do is check in with Dr. Mahone and her team because I'm of the mindset of let's before you're in a full crisis, let's go ahead and check in with people that can support you. And
That'll help.
then that will help, right? And
Yeah.
then that way, if it comes to the point where you're starting to feel overwhelmed, then you don't have to, at that moment, try to explain everything and try to get all the words out. Because sometimes it's kind of hard when you're in the middle of a crisis. It's really hard sometimes just to be able to get some basic words out. And it's sometimes it's a little bit easier if you've had the conversation when you're a little bit calmer and just say, "Look, this is my first time coming to school. I'm stressed out about it. I think I'm gonna be okay, but I want to get my all my ducks in my row, and I want to make sure that we have a conversation about some of my stressors and some of the things that can sometimes freak me out a little bit when it comes to life." And so you have a conversation about it, and then at some point, it happens a lot around midterms. I don't know if you see that too, but I know around
And
midterms and
finals.
finals, everybody's like, "Oh my God, I don't know how to," especially those, okay, let's be honest. Fall, all the new people are like, right now, they're like, "Yeah, I have, oh, it's so far away before anything's due." And then all of a sudden, around October, everything's due. They're freaking out and they're like, "Oh my God, how do I deal?" And so, if you're waiting until the last minute to try to get help, it might not be as easy to get it, or you may be overwhelmed when you're trying to talk. Start early and make sure that you get the support. It is not just about getting the grades, guys. It is about making sure you are physically, mentally, emotionally capable of dealing with stuff. And then when the crisis comes, you go up to, your counselor and say, "Okay, it's there. It's happened. I'm freaking out. I need some help." And the counselors, they already have something to work from to kind of bring you down versus trying to figure out at that point what's going on. So I would say totally start having conversations, get your appointments in, just if nothing else, like, "Hi, I am here, and I know at some point I'm probably going to start freaking out and I want to make a connection with you." That's it. Because I've had people I've sent to Dr. Mahone and her team. I had one person who used to work for me. Her father was in the process of dying. And so she was like, "He's in the process of dying. I don't know what's going to happen." I said, "Okay, you need to go over there um, because you're going to need a lot of support, and right now you can talk about it, but the moment he passes away, it's going to be really, really hard for you to say anything, and you're still going to need the support. So go over there, check in, let them know what's going on." And then I told her, if and when it happens and you need to work or whatever, you don't even have to tell me. You just send me a text and said it hit the fan. I didn't even Sure enough, that student sent me a text and said it hit the fan. And I was like, "Okay, do you need anything? If not, let me know what you need. Let me know when you're ready to come back to work. I know what's going on." So we had a plan of action. We knew what was going to happen, and the student was able to get the support through the counseling as well throughout, trying to keep her classes. She was an overachiever, so she really wanted to have good
Mm.
grades and go through a very difficult time with her family between her father being very terminally ill and eventually passing away. That's just one example, guys. She could have easily spiraled out if she wouldn't have had the talk to me, talk to the counselors, figured out what was going on. And it doesn't seem like oh no, she's an overachiever. No, overachievers actually get pretty stressed out, and that can really throw them off. Um, so use the services. That's what the counselors are here for. That's why we have um, the student employee assistance program slash SAFE. Sorry, guys.
Substance Abuse
I just
Resource Center.
I just call it Seep Sark, guys. Just Seep Sark. That's all I call it. Um, but that's why they're here. We want to help. We want to be able to guide you through whatever is going on, and be here. And like she said, it's free. Because that's another thing we have. A lot of students don't have the money. Oh my God, I need some help, but I don't have the money. Dr. Mahone Lewis, her services are free, and she has access to other services in the community that she might be able to offer you if you tell her what's going on. She might be able to refer you to something off campus if you feel like, you know what, she's not a good fit for whatever reason. Hey, she has options for you. Go
Hmm.
look at your options. Don't feel like you don't have options, like you don't have people that care. That is exactly what we're trying to get away from. Sorry, I'm off my little soapbox right now.
Well, I also want to encourage our staff members because you don't have to stay here with whatever the issue is. We refer you to somewhere that may be more appropriate for you. And also in the community, we're aware of those persons who do pro bono kind of work or who will give you maybe a reduced uh, bill for the services that you receive. And we also help you with if you have issues regarding housing and just some of everything. And so we tell you to let us know what it is you wanted. But staff, you are also included in this, and there is no charge for you either. And it does not hurt your paycheck. It's what I'd like to say. And we do not give you an added stressor.
No, quite the opposite. I'm going to throw myself into that too because Dr. Mahone Lewis used to be in my building, and on more than one occasion I went to her going, "Oh my God, I don't know how to handle my life," and she walked me through calming me down, and it's okay. We're going to figure something out, and she would give me some options to think about, and by the end of it, I was like, "Okay, I can live again. That's good. We got this. We got this." Um, and actually she gave me some great tips too as part of my job. There was some things that were going on and I was like, okay, I know you get training on this as a counselor. I don't know what are some things that you think I should be able to do so that I can be more effective in my job. And it actually ended up being perfect, exactly what I needed. um so I highly encourage it. I've had a lot of people, employees that I've sent her way, because they, for whatever reason, come and tell me, hey, I'm having this crisis also. um, I don't know. I attract that a lot. But people come up to me and tell me these things. I'm like, well, you probably need a little bit of support, more than I can give you, because I am not a professional at this, but I know somebody who can. And that's where we bring Dr. Mahone in. Try to help guide you through these things. Take advantage. This is a great opportunity for everyone here. All of our students, and that's another thing, right? Regardless of where they're located, you can also assist. Isn't that so, Dr. Mahone?
Yes, that's right. I was here listening to you.
Sorry, I get
Uh,
on my little soapbox and I
yes.
just keep going.
Yes. Yes, we work with uh, online students. I think the student that was the farthest away, and this person was a student, her husband was military, and it was in Japan. So we work with clients that are at other bases, and again, we work virtually and with persons in person as well. So we're trying to uh, set up a program that's going to be conducive to helping you the best possible way.
Yeah.
It really is about you, and we want you as successful students. We want you to feel good about what you're doing and where you and we want you to help. We want to help you with a plan of action for your getting to your goals, for accomplishing your goals. So uh, I think we probably like students, don't we? And we like
Yeah.
staff too.
Well, I think we like people to feel comfortable regardless of
Yes,
who they are and where they're located and what their goals are. So
yes,
we like to see them be in a positive headspace, working towards their goals
yeah.
and making sure that they feel supported. I know that that's part of what I do. I know that that's part of what Dr. Mahone is doing. That's why we do these live things so that, maybe you don't feel comfortable or you don't have an opportunity to come see us.
Hmm.
Hopefully, this is something that you guys may look at and be like, oh, this is another option. But the great thing is that we both of our departments currently fall under what's called student success and persistence. Yay!
Hmm.
And that's really what we're about. We want you to be successful and be able to persist to get your goals. And that's the whole purpose of us being here. What we're trying to do is make you be successful and reach your goals. Period. That's it.
Hmm.
That's it. And then, we also go into the goal, be employable and all of that, but ultimately it comes down to
Yes.
the basics.
Hmm.
Um, any last words of wisdom? Anything that we're missing, Dr. Mahone, that maybe I overspoke and forgot to let you kind of go through your thing?
Well, actually, I feel that you know sometimes it's a, about how we're feeling, our emotions, but to know that it's okay to have all of the emotions, whatever are, including the singers. We are. It's important. It's about how you express that emotion, and we are here to help you to not do that in a negative way or in a way that's going to solve your problem, uh, but solve your problem in a way that causes you to just be to cut yourself off. We want everything to be a learning situation for you, and we thank you for coming to us when you choose to, and everything is confidential.
Yep.
And that's it that I
Uh,
can.
I yeah, that whole thing with feeling your emotions. I'm gonna throw my 2 cents into that one because I used to think that showing my emotions was a negative thing.
Mhm.
And then as time goes by, I have realized that that just hurts me more than anything. And so being able to express yourself and just say, I am angry, I am really upset about this, or I am happy, and it's okay to feel the extremes.
Mhm.
I feel like the problem is that people think it's okay to stay in the extremes. That's what we don't necessarily want, but being able to feel them for a moment and say it's okay to feel it,
Mhm.
that makes a really big difference internally. At least for me, it has to feel like, oh, well, I don't have to. It's okay to feel anger or upset at something or someone for a moment. I just don't want
Mhm.
to live from
And
that emotion.
that's right. That's right. So,
So, all right. Well, that's all I have. Anything else, Dr. Mahone, before we conclude?
well, we look forward to your coming to the uh, Anderson Campus Center on the 13th. And we're going to have a lot of literature there for you. And we'll be able to, if you have questions, answer those questions. And we'll also be with the Net Impact students on the 21st, also at the Anderson Campus Center.
Are we gonna have? Because I know during a previous event during Welcome Weeks, your sidekick Nadia had a card game that I thought was really kind of cool. Um,
Yes, she had a really large positive response from that, and that will be available.
so yay!
Yes.
Come play and learn at the same time. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Mahone Lewis.
Oh, you're welcome.
We will be doing more of these things in the
Thank
future.
you so much for inviting me to be a part of your podcast.
I love being able to have this kind of chat. It should be something where everybody feels comfortable, where we can just have a quick talk about it. We'll do some more in the future. Be on the lookout, guys. And we'll bring Dr. Mahone in as well. Thank you for listening. Once again, my name is Mariceli Santiago. This is your Eagle podcast, and we hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.
Bye bye.